You are right up my street.
Oh, you can't make me choose.
I go by Toyota. Sponsors T4.
Fuck me, Lee Ryan's 13.
Marlene.
I remember we couldn't remember the word for table.
This is Your Welcome America, the podcast that explains what the bloody hell Brits are banging on about.
In every episode, we translate British pop culture for America
And American pop culture for Britain. You're welcome. I am Ben.
I am Frazer.
Frazer, like the TV show?
Like Erasure.
Oh.
Frazer has left the building.
Hiya, babes.
Do you like my t-shirt?
Yeah, I do. Very nice.
I do have something to admit with this t-shirt.
It looks like a 90s watercolor.
Well, it was left by an Airbnb guest in my house.
I need something that will make a guy come in his pants as soon as he sees me. Got it.
And I saw it, and then I washed it, and I was like, I kind of like it, so I've kept it. Is that weird?
It's weird and cursed. You're definitely not going to be able to take that off tonight, and you'll be stuck in it forever.
Oh, interesting. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, we've been off air, non-Drag Race for a little bit. We took a week off of normal episodes, so we've got some things to catch up on.
We do have some
Even
things.
though most of those things we did together.
Well, yeah. What was the first thing we did together?
We trotted over to the Forum in Inglewood.
The Roman Forum.
The Roman Forum
From
in
the movie
Inglewood.
Gladiator.
To watch Charlie XCX.
Gay rights!
And Troye Sivan. I'll tell you a little something that happened before you arrived. During the support act, Shy Girl, who I liked one of her songs, and I will say the rest of it sounded like what I described as a bloody racket.
A bloody racket.
It was a bloody racket. It all sounded the same. I liked the way it sounded, but I couldn't distinguish one song for another. And there was a young couple in front of us, two ladies, and I could tell one of them was out of her mind already. And we were at just the support act, and her girlfriend kept kind of removing her, I think maybe to go to the bathroom, and then you could tell her girlfriend was kind of like, could see that the writing was on the wall, but she was like, maybe I'll hear like one song by Charlie XCX.
Maybe she'll get to do the apple dance.
Yeah, she's like, I'll be able to see maybe just two songs, one song from each artist.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, I looked away. I was too busy talking to our friends, and then I looked back as the show started. Gone.
This chew's gonna punish you.
And in her place was one of the forum attendants cleaning up her vomit.
Gay rights!
She went so brat that she couldn't be there for the actual performance. Can you imagine? I mean, I can imagine being young and stupid, but imagine being so drunk that you can't even see the main act that you go to watch.
No. And it was what? A Tuesday night?
It was a Tuesday night, and it really did not start late. It's not like we were sitting there waiting till like 10 p.m. for it to start.
And those tickets were not easy to get.
No.
Oh, dear. It was a very fun show, though.
It was.
Very stripped down.
Yeah, I liked that Troye Sivan had backup dancers and kind of more performance stuff, and Charlie XCX just, all she needed was like a 2000s Matrix pirate wench outfit.
And a strobe light.
A strobe light and a pair of sunglasses, and she just stomped around in various... It was very like your version of when you all had to do that weird Matrix version of whatever play you did. Godspell. It felt like that. There was scaffolding and strobe lights, and that's all she needed.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I didn't notice that until the end. You're like, oh, she had no dancers. She was always on stage by herself. I was like, oh wow, yeah. But she was at the height of her powers.
She really was. It felt like we were watching like a witch at her full full kind of magical
club
powers.
Witch.
The club witch herself. Highlight was her bringing Kesha out. Yeah. And them all singing TikTok.
That's fun. Not so much of a highlight was when they brought out, what's her chops?
Oh, well. The big grown-up baby. What's she called?
Not Addison Rae.
No,
Tate McRae.
Tate McRae. Addison Rae's baby kind of alter ego.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I actually went to the bar during Troye Sivan and Tate McRae's performance. I was like, not interested.
I actually do like that song they had together.
Yeah.
I did sit down for 3 of Troy's songs.
Another highlight for me was Charlie getting annoyed because the people in the brat pit, didn't know enough of the lyrics to the icon of pop, I Don't Care, I Love It.
I mean, the words are pretty easy.
She was getting really frustrated because people weren't singing along with it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, if you're, some 20-year-old who's just got into Brat, Icona Pop is actually like a song from like the 80s.
Yeah, pretty much. A real highlight for me was paying $70 for preferred parking. It was good parking.
You had
though.
a great parking spot. We sailed out of there compared to when I went there before to the Forum. It took me like 45 minutes to leave the car park.
Yeah.
Since I'm talking to our UK friends.
Car park.
The car park. Yeah, well, you just drove out and we were on our way home.
Yeah, preferred. On Saturday, we went to the Mondrian.
We did. We went to the Sky Bar at the Mondrian.
Was that the Sky Bar?
It was, yes.
Oh, I thought the Sky Bar would have been on the roof.
No, I think that was the Sky Bar.
Oh.
There was a sign that said Sky Bar.
Oh, okay.
And we went out, yeah.
So the early 2000s Sky Bar.
But because it's on a hill, you are in the sky.
You do have a good view because
Yeah.
you're on Sunset. Yeah. Wait, let me just see when that hotel opened. Okay, can you guess when the hotel was opened? When do you think? What does it feel like?
2003.
Oh, okay, I'm going to go over 2004. 1996.
Whoa. That must have been very modern at the time.
Interesting.
Must have blown people's fucking minds in 1996.
It was interesting because we did look at the building a lot, and it did kind of look like a tall council housing apartment building.
I enjoyed there was what appeared to be like water damage all along one side of it.
Just looking at this is good. Some popular culture. The rap party of Star Trek Deep Space Nine was held at the Mondrian in 1999.
That's really actually special.
Oh, this is good. Britney Spears documentary Britney for the Record was filmed at the Mondrian. So, all those interview shots.
Yeah.
Several episodes of the HBO series
Entourage. Of course.
It reeked of Entourage.
Yes. And as I said to you, the modern day Entourage is that Vanderpump Rules has filmed a lot of things there as well, including when we were actually at this party, someone from The Valley, the spin-off of Vanderpump Rules, was there, Zach.
That's true. Oh, wait. And then
we watched him go into his apartment across the street.
And then we didn't even say who's DJing.
Oh, no, we didn't.
DJ Patsy Palmer.
DJ Patsy Palmer. And shout out to our friend, celebrity booker Billy, for the show, who was part of kind of organizing the event. And at one point I saw him very stressed, trying to get away from the poolside to do something. And I saw him getting caught in the Mondrian curtains, just kind of him just flapping through some curtains.
Did you say Mondrian?
Mondrian, yeah. Oh, sorry, is it the Mondrian?
Mondrian?
I thought it was the Mondrian.
Mondrian?
I think Americans say Mondrian.
Do they?
In their accent, and I'm putting almost like a French Canadian spin on it. Le Mondrian.
And then also there was DJ Lisa Ianson.
Yeah, we really got to see some
Beat Uncovered. I did a little shopping before I came here.
Yeah, so you sent me a text when I was expecting you, and you sent me a text saying, I'm going to Cost Plus World Market. Need anything? And I thought, sure, I could take some, wicker baskets.
No, these aren't for you, but these are just, I did buy these baubles.
Oh, lovely. Like a disco bauble and a
pink world.
and a pink globe one. Yeah,
there were 2 for $6, so I got those.
Yeah, I feel like Cost Plus World Market is a real wicker basket place.
Yeah, so this is the first little snack I got for us. Let me open
Oh, yeah. This is for any UK listeners that do not know Cost Plus World Market. They sell furniture, but also food from around the world.
Delicacies from around the world.
Yeah. Oh, my, what?
So just read this to the group.
Oh, God, what the hell is this? Crushed grape jelly beans. This sounds horrible.
Do you not like fake grape?
No, I hate grape flavor.
Oh, I thought you loved it, but now I'm remembering you hate it.
I hate grape flavor.
Okay, you're going to have to do one, though.
No, fine, I will. Really, just to confirm whether I do still hate it. Oh. Hatred confirmed. Also, what part of the world is that from? America? You went to Cost Plus World Market and got the most American snack.
Okay, I got 2 other things.
Okay. Closing my eyes.
I don't know if I know these.
Burt's sea salt and malt vinegar crisps.
And then also, now...
Made with care in Devon since 1999, small batch, thick cut, great crunch.
1999, they got in there just before the millennium. Now, I don't know... this is a bit like the grape. This next flavor you might hate or love, and I can't remember.
Okay. Oh, no, I do like a prawn cocktail.
Well, we'll open the prawn cocktail. Come on. Very hard, UK listeners, to get a prawn cocktail crisp.
Oh my god, these salt and vinegar are... That is some vinegar. Taste that.
These are very fishy. These also support the RNLI lifeboats. Oh, those are some crunchy crisps.
Oh, we just took a real crisp break. We spared you the details of us just talking about crisps and eating them for about 10 minutes.
Oh, I thought I'd done my macros for the day, but I have to add those on. Right, should we do some feedback?
Let's bloody do it.
If you want to get in touch with us, please give us a shout in the Instagram. Call us. 612-699-2007, light the year. 612-699-2007, light the year. I'm going to start off.
Okay.
Coco has got in touch on Instagram, and she went to see Janet Jackson in London, and she sent us a picture of Janet doing feedback. She's like, every time I hear this song, I just think of the pod, which was lovely feedback. Coco, can you also rate and review us, please?
Okay. So we had two separate people got in touch with us about our Forgotten Ladies of the 2000s.
Yeah.
And something that we missed, and a link that you and me didn't make on that, is that back in the day, the rapper Lady Sovereign, she wrote a diss track about your girl. I always want to call her Gentina. Gentina, yeah. So she wrote a diss track about her that was called Sad Ass Stripper. Sad Ass Stripper in a Mr. Way. So Paul McGregor got in touch with us to tell us that, as well as our good old friend Piers Broderick, not Piers Brosnan. Yeah, he said, so when you mentioned both Gentina and Lady Sovereign in the Forgotten Ladies of the 2000s episode, I had to tell this story. Lady Sovereign released a diss track about Gentina called Sad Ass Stripper, involving classic lyrics like Jenny from the block, more like Jenny from a flock of pigeons.
Wow. We had Me Against the Podcast get in touch. He said, what's your thoughts on this song? As a George fan, I love this song, but I'm not familiar with his discography, and it's George Michael's Amazing. I think you're amazing.
Oh, yeah, that is a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, also shout out to when he sampled that song, Absolutely Flawless. And is it called Back to the City? And it's like, Back to the City, absolutely flawless. Just a real good gay combo. So yes, we do love that.
Yeah.
I had just had some feedback sent straight to me personally by our friend Colin, and he said to mention to you that the UK equivalent of Tim Hortons is Greggs, not Starbucks, apparently.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then did you see that Prosecco Pundit also got in touch with us saying Tim Hortons is terrible. Ultra processed, full of preservatives, but very cheap. It's like a USA Dunkin' or a UK Greggs.
Okay.
Oh, they gave us quite a lot of info. Started off focusing on only filter coffee and donuts, but has expanded to a full menu of sandwiches, cappuccinos, etc. This is very shocking for people in the UK to have this double, which is filter coffee with 2 sugars injected as a simple syrup. I feel like here that's just standard bullshit, American sugar bullshit, but I like the idea of people being like, good lord, a coffee with 2 sugars in it. Just a quick one. There was another message from Piers Broderick, and I think it was in response to something about you and me talking about something airing on Virgin Media.
Oh, yes.
And then he gave us an update.
Big Brother. I was getting confused.
Big Brother.
I saw Big Brother clips of Virgin Media. I was like, what?
So Piers got in touch with us to keep us up to date. Virgin Media update in caps.
Good.
Virgin bought one of our Irish stations, TV3, and rebranded it as Virgin One. And they show all the ITV soaps, I'm a Celebrity, and Big Brother.
So I must have seen an Irish clip of Big Brother, which is not on ITV, but in Ireland it's on Virgin One. Do you know, I might stay in the Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas when I go.
Honestly, thought you were about to say something about the Virgin Islands. I might just stay at the Virgin Islands. I was like, oh, okay. Sure. I might just go to Mauritius. Can all just say things, Ben.
Oh, we also had a bit of feedback on our Forgotten Ladies of the 2000s. Andrew Westwell said we'd forgotten Kate Thornton.
Oh, we sure did.
We sure did.
I feel like maybe she's just, you and me mention her so much that to us, she's not forgotten at all.
Yeah, we're like, she's not forgotten.
Her butterfly tops.
What about the oh my god, what's her name who did Pop Stars? Blonde hair.
Nikki Chapman,
yeah. I have made a list of our forgotten Ladies of the 2000s, so we can do a follow-up at some point.
We got a lovely little bit of feedback on the email from David M., and he let us know that Albertsons is also in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they've been there since the late 1980s. So there you go. Oh, and actually, Cliff got in touch and just said, please tell me you've seen the Marty McCutcheon Lidl ad.
Oh, yeah.
And weirdly, at the same time, other people mentioned about that, and then
S Club
S Club 7 doing a Marks and Spencer's ad, and I thought very high end for S Club to get Marks and Spencer's, don't you think?
Yeah,
they feel a bit more little to me than anything. But do you know how I imagine they got it?
How did they do it?
I feel like Rachel's a regular at like the Highgate M&S, and they were like, oh well, you know, Rachel, she's like a classy gal.
Yeah,
and then she just kind of snuck the others in.
She was the entry point to Marks and Spencer's for S Club.
Absolutely. I feel like she's probably got a range at M&S.
It's also weird because I don't think S Club are doing anything right now. It's not like they've just announced a reunion tour after 15 years and everyone bought tickets.
Right. I haven't actually seen the ad, but I hope they call it M&S Club.
Oh,
if they don't, then someone's missed a real trick there.
They've covered one of their songs, but it's like, I would say
it's You're My Number One, isn't it?
Yeah, which I think is like a second tier.
Yeah,
S
very
Club
much.
Song.
We've reached the point where people who have complete power and control in marketing are now old gay people who can put these ideas into effect.
Yeah, that's true. Finally, they can do a Boots commercial with "Here Come the Girls," but Sugar Babes are actually in it.
Yes. Oh my god.
Here come the girls. Right, have we finished this episode yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, any more feedback, give us a shout on Instagram, email us at
You're welcome, americapodcast@gmail.com.
Please rate and review us.
Yes, or leave us a voicemail.
And we're back. Fraser, you're up first with the UK. You're going to speak about the whole of the UK.
I am.
And go.
So I've got a little clip to introduce you to this topic because you don't know what it is or who it is.
I don't.
I know you can't see my screen, but I'm going to see if you can recognize the dulcet tones. It's going to be a little jarring when you hear the actual song, but just try and really concentrate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was Jai Ho. Who was
Did that not sound a little strange to you?
It sounded like Jane McDonald?
I know you can't see my screen, but it was the elusive chanteuse herself, Jane McDonald.
It was Jane.
It was Jane.
It's weird. It didn't sound strong enough to be Jane.
No.
Was it a live shit recording?
No, it was one of her performances from the end of her travel show where she does the song themed to the episode each week, and I think they've been quite studioed. So that one especially, but we'll get back to cruising with Jane McDonald later on because it really is one of the best fucking things I have ever seen in my life. So Jane McDonald, according to Wikipedia, this is not funny, but there's a little kind of citation at the top that says, not to be confused with the murder of Jane McDonald, spelt slightly differently, which is a really grim cold case from the UK that I read earlier. So, you know, to use our wiki knowledge, she's an English singer and television presenter, born and raised in Wakefield. McDonald spent much of her early career performing in local clubs and pubs before landing work as a singer on cruise ships. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason we know who she is because of the best fucking show that has ever been made in 1998, I believe it was. The docuseries. It was actually revolutionary for the time. There was not many shows that were reality shows in different settings in 1998, and it was called The Cruise. So her parts of the show, it was following all the crew and performers that worked on the Galaxy cruise ship in 1998.
The Galaxy cruise ship.
And Jane McDonald was the resident cruise ship singer. And she became I would say like a wildly phenomenal, famous person based on this one reality show. And if you go back and watch clips of the cruise, it's very unedited and like
long scenes.
Long scenes of like Jane
walking down a corridor.
Walking down like a really long corridor where you can barely even hear what she's saying. Or like her in her dressing room just like shuffling costumes around and like doing her makeup and kind of just being fun and interesting. But there's absolutely no plot lines. There's barely any like jeopardy happening. There's no story there's no story producers putting stuff together. There's no confrontations. Yeah. It really is just like some of the grimmest British people you've ever seen having the time of their lives on a cruise ship and like people just being like, oh yeah, you know.
So at the time, so this is 1998.
Yeah.
As a child watching that, she felt about 45 to me.
Yeah.
But like, was she actually maybe 32?
Yeah, she was only in her 30s. And if you go back and look at the footage of it, I will tell you, even not through the lens of a child, she does look older than her years.
Okay.
So it's really hard to find footage of the cruise. All I could find was a special where it's about her wedding. So the whole thing is kind of like about just her. This is a great clip where she goes back to the local working men's club in Wakefield where she used to perform, and she goes back to like a sold out crowd, and you get also the guy that introduced her doesn't call it the cruise, he just calls it cruise because he gets it wrong.
From Cruise.
Anyway.
Sounds good.
Ben, this is my main thing I've discovered looking back at these clips of her is that I kind of, because she's become such like a beloved kind of, you know, Hun-like figure.
Yeah.
I forgot that she's really good. And a lot of the reason people really liked her on that show, The Cruise, is because she was a really good singer. And the idea of like seeing people singing on cruise ships wasn't like, there wasn't the internet as popular. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something everyone just knew and knew what that sounded like and was like, oh, that's annoying. People were like, oh my God, she's a star.
So if that's 1998, I think The Cruise happened in like 96.
Yeah. And actually, she ended up, the guy that she married on that special, she was with him all the way up until 2002. They got divorced then, but she was with him that entire time.
Oh, interesting.
It's not actually that long, is it?
Oh yeah, that's not.
I had got it in my head that it was like 2022. But yeah, she married a guy that she met on that cruise. He was like
on cruise.
He was a Swedish guy that worked as an engineer. They fell in love and got married.
Oh, I could deal with my pints.
Yeah, she definitely made that joke on stage.
Michael and I were really obsessed when we worked together at MTV in the UK in 2008. There was a clip of Jane. She was doing like a cabaret performance. And halfway through it, she just busted into, oh, don't you think your girlfriend is hot like me? Oh, don't you? I love you, all right? Oh, don't you?
So she got really famous from that show, The Cruise. And she released kind of multiple albums off the back of that, of kind of her doing real cruise lounge singer classic.
Just Googled Jane McDonald's net worth. What do you think it is?
No, I don't know. You tell me. I can't even.
Oh, come on, take a stab in the dark. Come on.
1 mil.
4.5 million.
Oh, solid.
Pounds.
Solid.
Good for Jane.
So she had kind of a musical success off the back of that show in the kind of late 90s and in the early 2000s. I think it was 2004. She became a regular person on Loose Women.
Yeah.
And I think that really set her in like stone as someone who will always be famous in the UK because everyone knew she had a great personality. So everyone that was old enough to remember her on The Cruise loved her on that. I felt like she really got that old person love. And then younger people just thought she was really fun, and she's got a great personality. She's very northern. So yeah, she was on it for, I think, like 10 years.
Is she not on it anymore?
No, she left in 2014. But she comes back and like goes on and off, I think. They bring her back.
She's a family. She's a friend of the family.
Friend of the family.
Yeah. She's like, family friend.
So she's had those kind of different, and she's always performed, and she has like live at the Palladium. She has this insane special that I found that was called like Jane and Friends. And I'm just going to play you a little medley that she does from Jane and Friends that I found that was on Channel 5.
Used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, live and let die.
Now, I will tell you, the moment that Live and Let Die really kicks off, she's got multiple male dancers dressed in tuxedos spinning around her, and I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what we used to call back in the day in the biz, 6 pyro cannons going off on stage. The audience is losing their shit during this Bond medley.
Where is this? The Palladium?
And this is it's a studio show. It's on Channel 5. It's called Jane. It's called Jane and Friends. I bet you can see her live at any point. It feels like she's always touring a very specific venue in the UK.
Oh.
Is she at the Corn Exchange?
Wait a minute.
Remember that venue?
2 days' time, she's in Glasgow, 6:30 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
the SEC, the Armadillo. One of our buildings we call the Armadillo.
I think a couple of our listeners might have gone to see Jane, actually. I think maybe Cliff went to see Jane.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
$45.
Yeah.
So what's that, like £30? That'd be a fun show.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I just saw it on Instagram. I saw someone go and watch her, and they had like a whale of a time.
Wait a minute. I don't know what you're doing between the 4th and 11th of October 2025, but you could join Jane on a very special cruise across the high seas, visiting Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Gothenburg, and Oslo.
Honestly, that does sound fun.
That sounds great. So have you ever met Jane?
No, I've never met Jane. I've been around her because I used to work in that same studio that made Loose Women, so I saw all those gals knocking around.
Well, like sort of just walking around with a cup of tea.
Yeah, and just kind of in various stages of hair and makeup, kind of arguing with researchers and things, yeah.
So I have a photo of me and Jane somewhere
You do?
from back in the day. And Jane, so she came on the talk show I worked on, all the gals from Loose Women. And I gotta say, out of all the gals, she was the utter joy to deal with.
She was as kind of amazing as you thought she would be.
Well, she famously said to me something like, I can't remember what we're talking about, but she just said to me like, you see, Ben, the thing is, I don't sweat, I glow. Just remember that.
I think the reason she's also maintained her success, so I kind of knew about this show and I've seen clips of it before, but looking into this, I wish that I think that you and me could watch every single series of this together, and if we could find it.
Is it Cruising With?
So it's Cruising with Jane McDonald.
I'd love to watch this show.
So it started in 2017, and basically every episode is her getting on a different cruise ship and, talking about where they visit, talking about the cruise ship, meeting people, and it's just it's the perfect vehicle for her. She is, always associated with cruising. She's really great talking to members of the public. So it's just, the whole thing is just her like having a great time. But the reason it kind of picked up traction, especially amongst the homosexuals, is because at the end of every episode, she sings a song that kind of ties in with the cruise or a theme or where they've been. She does like a music video. So she doesn't sing it live, it's a music video.
Oh, so kind of like...
So it kind of goes into like a dreamscape.
Kind of like which series of the Saturdays we watched.
Yes,
we're halfway
exactly.
through the episode, it was suddenly this dream situation where they're singing.
You would like transition into kind of... Yeah, exactly. I think this is a Caribbean episode. I want you to come around and watch this.
Caribbean episode.
I showed Ben our gal just transitioning out of, I had a lovely time in Barbados, so before I go, I'm going to sing a little song. And she goes into Cake by the Ocean. And it's a wild mix of like a recorded performance, almost like a music video of her in some bar in Barbados with all these like other local Barbadian people just like as her extras, kind of mixed in with clips of her from the episode.
Falling off a paddleboard. I was doing yoga on a paddleboard and I fell off.
So what I was desperate to find was a full list of the kind of wild songs that she has covered. Yeah. And she's actually released 2 albums from the Cruising with Jane McDonald's kind of oeuvre. Now, the first album had some pretty kind of classic songs, and I think maybe after the J-Ho thing, I think they started to lean into getting her to do quote-unquote contemporary songs. And the second album has some quite wild songs, but I'm going to play you this one here and just let you listen to the quality of the kind of backing singers and music. So I just played Ben a little clip of Jane McDonald covering Spinning Around by Kylie Minogue. Why did some of that sound like it was being sung down like a drain pipe?
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah. But also then there was the odd moment where I think, have they left a Kylie backing track in there as well?
Maybe. And then just one other one to play you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Turn the music up. Let's do it. All my people. Let's get loud.
And to be fair to her, she's got better vocals than J-Lo.
She does.
She could do Let's Get Loud.
She could do a halftime show.
Honestly, Ben, if there was a UK version of a halftime show, Jane McDonald would fucking destroy it. Because the thing is that, like, all these jokes aside, when I was listening to all these songs, like I was saying earlier, she's a really good singer, so she sounds great in all of this stuff. So even if the songs are completely batshit and the choices are batshit, she still sounds like fantastic in them.
Do you think any zhuzhy gays have paid her to sing at their wedding before?
Oh my god, they should. Oh my god, I just saw in the first album she covered It's Oh So Quiet. she's so funny. She's just like what a completely unique world that she lives in terms of her fame, in terms of what she's famous for. Like, she has a real talent and actually is really good at it and uses it in all of her projects. It's not like no one asks her to sing anymore. She's known as a singer, and it's so kind of cruise shippy and kind of camp and also like a little dated, but still kind of, I feel like young gay people find it fun to listen to her sing. I don't know. She's really in a very specific lane that no one else has really managed to ever be in.
She's very British as well.
Yeah, she couldn't be more northern.
More northern. I think when I worked with her that one time, she's like, she still lived in Wakefield. Like she bought a nice house in Wakefield. Yes. Like she was never going to move to London.
I saw recently she was on like Capital Breakfast or something, and they asked her about that, and they said to her, "Is it true that you still live in Wakefield because you can't get the pork pie that you like anywhere else?" And she said it was true. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's true. It's blah blah blah's bakers." But she's like, they've got the rat pastry, blah blah. And she goes into it, and she truly lists that as one of the reasons. I think the real reason is that her mum, she was really close with her mum, and I think she lived with moved her mum into like a really nice house until she passed away in 2018. So I think she stayed there because that's where her mum wanted to be. Yeah. But then she stayed there since, like, I think she's truly like the queen of Wakefield.
Oh, good for her.
Can't you just picture her driving around, and I bet she has like a zhuzhy Range Rover, and I bet she just and I bet she smells really good and always has like nice hair and nails, and she just zhuzhes in and out of shops in Wakefield and kind of knows
everyone's names.
Oh, absolutely.
I love. Do you get that top in that?
Yeah, like I feel like they're like, "Oh, you're right, Jane." Like it's not like a big moment that Jane McDonald's coming in because she's like a local.
Yeah, she probably gets her nails and hairs done by the same people.
Oh yeah, get that done by Julie in Wakefield.
I bet she's got like a lovely little holiday villa somewhere. Yeah, in like Portugal or something.
Oh yeah, she's definitely got a portfolio.
She's got her house in Wakefield, and maybe she's got a nice villa somewhere. Yeah. I just had to Google, has she ever done the Royal Variety Show? It looks like a few times.
Yes, no, absolutely. She's really, a real chanteuse that is underestimated chanteuse.
Chanteuse of the seas.
Yeah.
So wait, who the hell is the US equivalent?
So I chewed over this, and I feel like I probably will get some pushback on this, but
I've got before you give me yours, I've got a suggestion. Is it Kristen Chenoweth?
No.
Okay.
I think she's too legit.
Okay.
I weirdly thought of Kathy Lee Gifford.
Why?
Because so Kathy Lee Gifford was an actress. That's kind of how she got famous. So obviously not the same as a reality show. But then she basically was famous at a certain point of her career, and then got more famous because she was on, Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, and then what's it called? The Today Show.
Yeah.
And she has like the loose womaniness of it. It's kind of that, like, she had her fame and then got her real like permanent fixture fame by being on television, like Jane McDonald on Loose Women. And Kathy Lee Gifford has a complete music career as well. And I think she's also got that same kind of like slightly campy audience that are like, I feel like the same old people that would go and watch Jane McDonald here would go and watch, the American equivalent would go and watch Kathy Lee Gifford sing at like a fancy thing with like an orchestra.
Let's look up Kathy Lee Gifford's net worth, because I bet, so Jane, what was she, like 4.5 million pounds?
Yeah.
So she's like $6 million. So let's see. I bet Kathy Lee's like $60 million.
Yeah, she'll be right up there. Because I think she's probably like,
oh, here we go. She's $60 million.
And would you look at this? I've just seen here that in the 90s, she became the face of Carnival Cruise Lines. And she sang a song of hers in the commercial for Carnival Cruise Lines.
Oh my God, we've done it.
So that really, and I didn't even see that until I just scrolled down on her, Wikipedia.
I think this is one of the strongest UK-US translations we've ever done.
Yeah, so so the US equivalent of Jane McDonald is Kathy Lee Gifford.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And we're back. And boy, have we listened to some Jane McDonald hits during that break. If anyone's not aware, she does do a cover of Ray of Light. If anyone needs to listen to it, it's
quicker than a ray of light.
It's quite something to hear, kind of a cruise ship version of Ray of Light. Anyway, Ben has our American topic. I know what it is because I was there.
Yeah, we had a little excursion on Saturday. We went to Cinnabon.
Well, where was it located, more importantly?
We'll go on the journey there. Cinnabon, that's Cinnabon, Cinnabon. Cinnabon, it began in Seattle in 1985. The first Cinnabon bakery was opened in a mall. Basically, the guy who started it kept seeing entrepreneurs selling cinnamon rolls from carts in malls. So he decided, I'm going to turn that into a thing.
Whack it in a shop.
And a thing it turned into, and a shop did he whack it. So, we're talking about cinnamon rolls. Now, a store that very specifically sells cinnamon rolls. Just to describe them to anyone who doesn't know what they are, they're fresh baked dough with cream cheese frosting and a cinnamon blend on top.
They're very specific.
I don't think I've ever encountered these in the UK.
I don't think so either. I think probably now, because everything's flattened out to become world culture, they probably are a thing. But I don't remember them from like childhood.
Yeah, cinnamon roll. Yeah,
it'd be like having an exclusive like iced bun. Iced Bunnabon, and all they sell is iced buns. Loved an iced bun.
Love an iced bun.
Because it's not quite normal bread. It's like a sweet bread, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very special.
Do you like a hot cross bun?
I'm on the fence about that. I don't dislike a hot cross bun, but I don't seek it out.
Same.
Same with like a
buns.
Bakewell tart. It's like, it's fine. I just don't. I would never.
Oh, I like a Bakewell tart.
It would never come into my life accidentally, you know.
So
purposely.
We went to Westfield Century City.
We sure did.
What a bizarre... So after we'd been to the Mondrian and seen DJ Patsy Palmer...
Excuse me, Mondrian.
Après, j'arrive à Mondrian. We drove to the Century City Mall. What a strange Westfield that is.
Strange location, strange mall. It's quite weirdly comforting to see the Westfield signage because it's so ubiquitous with my time working in Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah.
So I did get a slightly warm feeling in my heart when I see that red Westfield logo.
The red W.
But yeah, it's in Century City, which is one of the most bizarre parts of Los Angeles. It's like
Century City.
It's like you described it as like it's like a financial district, but instead of being downtown where that makes sense, it's in its own different part of LA. So it's like another little high-rise area like downtown, but on its own in the middle.
And at the weekend, not the mall, but the area is very quiet at the weekend.
Very like Canary Wharf.
Yeah, it's very... When we were there, the sun was going down. It did feel like we're on a cloud planet.
Yes.
Mixed with Media City from Salford and Manchester.
Yes. It's a kind of outdoor-indoor mall as well, isn't it? There was
outdoor-indoor concept.
Yeah, there was moments of feeling like I was indoors, mostly outdoors. LA loves an outdoor mall, don't they?
But it's also kind of high-end.
Yeah.
Not Gucci high-end, but like there's a Tesla store there.
Yeah, and what was that jean brand, the denim brand that Khloe Kardashian, is it Good American? That's kind of expensive. There's like it's like higher tiered mid-range stuff.
Exactly.
American Girl doll store we saw. Yeah. We also saw lots of stores and some restaurants that had really fake made up sounding names. Do you remember that one that was completely we were unable to pronounce? Yeah. It made no sense.
A word that it was like, that's just not a word. It was a very bizarre
and just some very fake shops, like a shop that looks like a brand name, but it was called just like Pots and Things, and you're like, this is a one-off. How is it affording rent here?
Was Pots and Things, wasn't it like a wooden sign on a wooden back?
Yes, it was really hard to read.
Yes. It was also very busy. It wasn't like mobbed, but as I kept saying, oh, they must do a roaring trade at Christmas.
So before we went to Cinnabon, we took a little trip to a little country called Italy.
Oh, no. How do we describe the Italy concept to the UK? So imagine the John Lewis Food Hall.
Yes.
If that's still a
But we
thing.
said it felt very West London, didn't we?
Oh,
we
yeah.
said it felt like we'd gone to like a kind of posh supermarket in West London.
You
that
said
also
Notting Hill specifically.
Yeah, a Notting Hill kind of high-end little supermarket that sells lovely little bits and pieces.
Just Italian bits and pieces.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, it's like, as you said, lots of panettones.
Yeah, panettones, as you kept saying, up the wazoo.
Yeah. Panettones as far as the eye can see. And
some olive oils and maybe, I don't know, one of those giant jars of maraschino cherries.
yeah, and a pasta shape that you've never even imagined. So yeah, and because it's America, it's like blown up to 10 million, the size that it would have been in that Notting Hill. And it also has a full restaurant and then maybe like
quick service things.
7-8 different like places you can get different kinds of food. So we went and got the Roman style pizza, didn't we?
Which was good. It did cost $8 a slice, and for a whole pizza, it was $55.
Yeah, it was ludicrous, but they were doing a roaring trade.
Oh, I remember after we got the line behind us.
Oh, what, when you and me both turned into mums and aunties, and we went, oh, look at the line now. Good thing we got in the queue when we did. Look at it. In fact, I think that whole trip to Westfield, you and me really turned into mum and auntie. We were really on one.
We're very much out of our geographical zone because we're in, I was going to say West London. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
We're in West LA. Everyone was dressed in very clean, boring clothes.
Yeah, I kept saying to you, I'm seeing people that I've never seen before in my life here.
Yes.
Types of people.
Everyone
was in like it was almost like we were in like Gattaca. Everyone was wearing lots of like kind of clean linens.
Yeah. Not stylish, not stylish,
No.
just very, I described it as like wardrobe had dressed everyone.
Yes.
And as the sun was going down on this cloud plant of Westfield Century City, we had our pizza.
We did.
People in there were having Aperol Spritz slushies.
Yeah.
Let's all go.
There's a lot going on.
So then we trotted off to Cinnabon.
We did. The reason I've heard of Cinnabon is that I've always heard it used as a punchline for like as a reference point where people describe an airport Cinnabon. So people will be like, "Oh, it smelled like an airport Cinnabon in there." Oh. So I think it's got quite a grim association with being like, mainly like we would have at like a train station.
So we got a mini. We shared two things. We got a mini bon roll.
Yes, so
it's like a mini Cinnabon.
Yes, the mini version of their cinnamon roll.
Now that was weird because it's very uncooked, I would say. You're essentially just eating dough, raw dough.
I said it was like eating an uncooked mince pie.
Yeah, it was very like that.
But smeared with like a cream cheese frosting on top.
Yeah, and when we walked in, you were getting really perturbed by that lady who was just had that giant tub of cream cheese
Well, she
frosting.
had like a mixing bowl that she was just whisking up the frosting and then just kind of slapping it on. I really wanted that to take place behind the scenes. I didn't need to see like a spatula and some like cream cheese. I was fine with that happening off camera.
I was also the guy who served us. I don't know if you noticed, but he had quite flaky skin in his hands.
He was a poor unfortunate soul, that man.
know.
And also he was trying to sell us on the Cinnabon rewards program, and we were really trying to get in and out as fast as possible.
Yeah. So we also got a cookie bon bite.
Yes, which you and I foolishly thought was a cookie because it certainly looked like one from the outside.
No, it's a cookie, but inside is a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, it was a cinnamon roll with a cookie baked around it. So when we bit into it, and it was suddenly what you thought was a cookie had the texture of like uncooked dough. I actually kind of liked that cookie. It was good.
Yeah, that was okay. I think we did the right thing getting two small things and just cutting them.
Yes.
Sitting in that really sad bench that we sat on and ate them.
Sat on a bench next to an outdoor restaurant, generic restaurant, there was like a baby crying. And you and me sat there in the dark eating these like gross cinnamon rolls.
I also was kind of impressed that the menu wasn't vast.
Yeah, no, they really do have just cinnamon rolls.
They also do sell, there's something called center of the roll, which is basically just like the inside of a cinnamon roll, but not the outside.
Oh, sure. Why you cut out the part that's actually nice and go straight for the doughiest, rawest
uncooked
part?
Dough.
Yeah.
You could get a churro stick as well. I mean, that makes sense in terms of cinnamon. I did say as we were going there, I did announce that I don't like the taste of cinnamon. Which,
yeah, I don't particularly either. So that was maybe not working in its favor.
Yeah. So, I mean, that really was our trip to
Well,
to
don't forget,
Cinnabon.
we couldn't find Uniqlo. We then couldn't find the car. And who did we see that just strolled past us in
we saw Mark McGrath.
Yeah, Sugar Ray's own Mark McGrath.
And if you're wondering, yes, his hair is exactly how it was back in the day, that bleach blonde hair.
Pretty easy to recognize him because he looked just like an old Mark McGrath.
Yeah. I bet he was going to like, what's that place? Din
Tai Fung.
Yeah, I bet he was going there.
And then I texted CLC and said, I just saw Mark McGrath. And she said, we have the same birthday. So if you ever need to know Charlie's birthday, just Google Mark McGrath birthday.
The next time I remember Mark McGrath's birthday, I'll be like, oh, it's Charlie's as well. So
it was a bizarre trip. I think the Cinnabon of it all.
The Cinnabon of it all.
Was nestled within just a generally strange trip. And I'm really glad that we went to the Westfield Mall for it because it feels like something you would get in a mall or an airport. Like it's not a standalone business. It has to go hand in hand with like a mall or an airport.
And I have to say, I do think the Cinnabon felt like a lower tier establishment in that venue.
Yes.
You know?
It was clinging on a little bit, wasn't it?
Exactly. Unlike, Italy or whatever with its $55 pizza and that expensive pots and pans store. Yeah, it was interesting.
So what do you think? Because I've had a couple of thoughts, and one came to me as I was saying it. Because my initial thought was Millie's Cookies.
I was going to say Millie's Cookies.
Because it's it's mall-y, and it's very specifically like a sweet, and it's got the title of what it is in its thing. So it's not like a Greg's where you get all the different things. It's like you go there for cookies.
When was the last time you had a Millie's Cookie?
I couldn't tell you.
I would still love a Millie's Cookie.
Hang on. I think I had one more recently than you'd think in like my... Was I still in my early 30s? And we went on a trip to Manchester for my friend Paddy's birthday. And I think that as a joke, his friend Roisin and Killian got him the big cookie, and they did put the thing frosted it to look like the one that Miranda got on Sex and the City.
Oh, that's fun.
So we had all these pictures of him with the giant cookie. I think that was for Millie's Cookies.
Oh, that's
so
good.
that's the last time I had it.
The next time I go to the UK, I would love to get you a giant Millie's Cookie, ice it, and then try and bring it back.
Just see how much, especially have it something written on it and see how how unintelligible it would be.
And then the game would be, can you tell what was written on it?
Done. I mean, I think that probably is it. But my mind then suddenly went to, do they have Millie's Cookies in train stations? Because I feel like the kind of airport of it all and the mall of it all is similar. But I think maybe Millie's Cookies is the...
It's weird that they don't have like a Millie's Cookie in airports.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't there one in Gatwick?
Millie's Cookies. Paddington Station.
Okay.
There is one in the station.
Great.
Millie's Cookies Brighton. There's a kiosk, Birmingham Bullring, Cribs Causeway in Bristol.
Right, we're good to go.
Cribs Causeway. I've been there. So yeah, go for it.
The UK equivalent of Cinnabon is Millie's Cookies.
I think we've done our best US-UK comparisons this episode.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think we've actually put some thought into it. Yeah.
Should we just never record another podcast ever
it's
again?
taken us 110 episodes to finally get it right. You're welcome.
Okay, that's your lot. Thank you for listening. Please
That's
get in
you.
touch. Please rate and review us.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, don't let Ben individually bully anyone anymore. Let's just get it going.
Can we get your mum to bring some Millie's Cookies?
I'm not sure how well they'll travel.
I know, but that's what's kind of fun about it as well.
I'll ask. I know that she has already been. I've had a few messages. She's got a surprise for you. I don't think you're gonna like it.
Oh,
I don't want to ruin it. She definitely got
excited.
something that she thinks that you would like because of kind of snobbery, and I don't think you will. So
she got me like a box of chocolates from Thornton's or something.
Okay. Save that confrontation for when my mother arrives so that you can go head to head with her, okay?
Okay, you get an episode of You Are Prime every other week as per usual, but you get Drag Race UK every week as we battle on through.
Still chugging along.
Yeah, we've got 2 guest stars coming up, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, I go to get my work in Mexico done.
The next 2 episodes of Drag Race UK, if you want to listen to me talk to someone who knows about Drag Race, tune in for the next 2.
Oh, wow. In the meantime, you're welcome.
In the meantime, stream Cruising with Jane McDonald Volume 1 and 2.